بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. You go through this and just keep repeating it. لماذا تركت العراق؟ لماذا تركت طرابلس? This is a place in Syria. انتقلت الشركة إلى الرياض. انتقلت الشركة إلى الرياض. So go through them verbally, audibly. لماذا تركت مكة؟ انتقلت الشركة إلى المدينة. Now what's going to happen? You go through all of these. If you didn't memorize the word sharika and انتقلت, by the end inshallah you're going to memorize it, or at least you're going to be aware of it when you see it back again. But you have to make sure you're practicing. Here the same thing, تبادل السؤال والجواب مع زميلك. So we have جدة الأسرة شاطئ البحر. كيف تقضي الوقت في جدة؟ أذهب مع الأسرة إلى شاطئ البحر. So here كيف تقضي الوقت في عمان. So you're gonna say أذهب مع الأصدقاء. You're not gonna say أسرة. You're gonna say أذهب مع الأصدقاء. أصدقاء, friends. إلى السوق. إلى السوق. I go with my friends to the market. I go with my friends to the market. I go to the market with my friends. And go through all of them. Because these exercises are intended to be between the classmates, so you get to practice speaking, practice pronouncing, getting your tongue used to the language. So it's important to go through them. لماذا تركت كيف تقضي الوقت في الرباط? How do you spend your time in الرباط؟ أذهب مع الزوجة إلى المكتبة. I go with the wife to the library. Right? The sisters can say مع الزوج, and the brothers مع الزوجة, just for conversation purpose. And remember, if the brother was to say أذهب مع الزوج, is going to be correct. It's not going to be that he is saying I'm going with the husband. No, it's going to be the literal meaning of zawj is spouse. I'm going with the spouse, whether it's the wife or whether it's the husband. And the word zawj for spouse, that's the most, that's more the classical usage, using the word zawj for both the husband and the wife. And azwaj can mean wives and it can mean husbands. And that is that usage is prevalent in the Quran. القاهرة الأستاذ الجامعة. So here كيف تقضي الوقت في القاهرة? How do you spend the time in القاهرة, in Cairo? أذهب مع الأستاذ. I go with the teacher إلى الجامعة, to the university, and practice. Another exercise. كم تستغرق الرحلة إلى مكة؟ تستغرق ساعة واحدة تقريبا. تستغرق ساعة واحدة تقريبا. It lasts for 1 hour approximately. It lasts for 1 hour approximately. So here we have Makkah, ساعة واحدة. So here we have Al-Madinah, and you have ثلاثة. You're not going to say ثلاثة, because hour is feminine. And remember, the thing between 3 to 10, the number is the opposite gender of the thing that you're counting. So between 3 to 10, when it comes to 1 and 2, the number is adjectives. So it's going to match. The number is adjective. ساعة واحدة, adjective comes after the noun. If you were to say 2 hours, you're going to say ساعتين اثنتين. If you were to say 2 hours. Now 3 hours, you say ثلاث ساعات. Right? ثلاث ساعات, not ثلاثة with the ta مربوطة. So here you ask كم تستغرق الرحلة إلى المدينة. You're gonna respond تستغرق الرحلة, or you can leave out رحلة. تستغرق 3 ساعات. تستغرق 4 ساعات. And all of these go through it audibly. Right? Make sure you go through it properly. Kenya, Senegal, Jazair, go through it to get used to the numbers, get used to the vocabs. And soon, inshallah, we're going to have verbal homeworks. Right? Everyone will have to read it out loud and submit it. صل بين السؤال والجواب المناسب. Now this here is the homework for this lesson. التدريب السادس. This is going to be the homework for this lesson. Page 245. Page 245. And all the previous homework for those who haven't submitted is still required. All these are to be done verbally. We're gonna just skip that, inshallah. So let's go to we're gonna go straight to the next. All of these here, from page 251, from here, also go through them. Make sure you know all of the vocabs, all of the words, and go through them by yourself. Inshallah. These passages, these are like summary for the passage. Sometimes we give them as homework, but if we don't give it as homework, make sure you go through it. Go through it and understand it. If you don't understand it, you can ask in the group, or send a question, message. But go through it. Make sure you don't pass the chapter without knowing all of the vocabularies in the chapter. And these passages, study them, because some of these passages, whether we do it or we don't do it in the class, is going to come for the homework. For the exam. So make sure that you study them and understand them well. الوحدة الثانية عشرة. الهوايات. الهوايات means hobbies. Al-hiwaya, a hiwaya, someone's hiwaya, it's a hobby. So here we have a conversation between Shakir and Sharif. A hiwaya, someone's hiwaya, between Shakir and Sharif. ما هوايتك يا شريف؟ ما هوايتك? What is your hiwaya? What is your hobby, O Sharif? ما هوايتك? And just to know this word hiwaya, if you write it by yourself, you write by itself, it's written with ta marbuta. Right? It's not written with the open ta, the ta al-maftuha. You see it's here. Hiwayatun is written with the ta marbuta. So what is your hobby, O Sharif? Sharif, hiwayati kathiratun. Hiwayati, my hobbies, kathiratun, plenty. My hobbies, plenty. My hobbies are plenty, are a lot. Al-qira'atu was-safaru wal-murasalatu. Al-qira'atu, reading, was-safar, and traveling, wal-murasala, and what do you call it? Sending messages. There's a terminology for it in English. And remember, this book here it's an old book before WhatsApp and so on. So when you had what you call it, pen pal and those kind of things. وَمَا هِوَايَاتُكَ أَنْتَ. وَمَا and what? هِوَايَاتُكَ. Your hobbies. What are your hobbies? Ant, you. Shakir. هواياتي, my hobbies. الرياضة والرحلات والقراءة أيضا. الرياضة is exercising. والرحلات trips. والقراءة أيضا and reading also. And reading also. Now, safar is traveling, rihalat is like trips. What's the difference? It's not really much difference between the two, but generally, all safar gonna be a rihla technically, but not all rihla might include be a safar. Right? A safar is more used for like journeys, long journeys, where you gotta pack your bag and prepare with clothing and so, but rihla not necessary. Right? ماذا تقرأ يا شريف? ماذا تقرأ يا شريف? What do you read, O Sharif? Sharif, أقرأ الكتب والمجلات الإسلامية. أقرأ الكتب, I read books. I read books. والمجلات الإسلامية. والمجلات الإسلامية and Islamic magazines. I read books and Islamic magazines. And remember we mentioned this word al-kutub literally by itself is going to mean the books. والمجلات الإسلامية, the Islamic magazines. Right? But here, what is meant is not specifically the books, like some specific form of books or group of books that you're referring to. What is meant is general. I read books and I read Islamic magazines. Now, how you know when to translate it general or specific? For now, just context. That is it. You just use context. And that is generally how you know with the context and the meaning of the context. Compared to if, let's say, I was to say someone, Muhammad bought some books for Ahmad, and then Muhammad asked what he is doing, and he said, I'm reading the books. It's going to mean the books that he bought for him. Right? But if there is no context, there is no books in the context, it's just talk in general, then you're going to translate it as books. هل لديك مكتبة؟ هل لديك مكتبة؟ لديك is you have. مكتبة library. هل لديك مكتبة? Do you have a library? نعم لدي مكتبة كبيرة. Yes, لدي I have مكتبة كبيرة. A big library. كم ساعة تقرأ في اليوم؟ كم ساعة? How many hours you read in the day? How many hours you read in a day? How many hours do you read in a day? أقرأ 3 ساعات تقريبا. I read 3 hours approximately. أنا أقرأ 4 ساعات في اليوم. I read 4 hours in the day. Right, the note is 3 4, right? The masculine form of the numbers, because the thing that you're counting is feminine. The ساعة. القراءة هواية مفيدة. القراءة, right? قراءة meaning reading. هواية is hobby. Mufida means beneficial. Mufida means beneficial. So now here again, literally al-qira'a means the reading. But what is meant is not some specific reading. He's speaking generally. So you're going to say reading is al-qira'atu hiwayatun mufida. Reading is a beneficial hobby. Reading is a beneficial hobby. Reading is a beneficial hobby. move to the next. If any questions on the last should be clear, inshallah. So here we have conversation between Shihab and Shu'aib. Shihab, هل زرت معرض الهوايات؟ هل زرت معرض الهوايات? زرت means you visited, right? Lit by itself. Hal is to for question. Ma'arid, a ma'arid is like an exposition, or expo. What do you call it? Exposition, expo, like an expo. You know what's an expo? Yes, that is what you call it in English. Hiwayat is hobbies. It's like they have a big, let's say they use a hall, or they use auditorium, and they have different things on display, right? That's a ma'rid. If they say a ma'rid of books, right, they're gonna have different booths with books, or they have books on sale, different type of books. Yeah. It's more of a show, but the word ma'arid, yeah, it's more referred to any where you have a display of things. It can be one specific thing. They have different words, I think they use in one expo. Like for example, something you can use, like they had in they had something recently in South America with regards to global warming, or whatever. What do you call it? What's the word used? All right. So I think everybody get the idea. If you find the word, let me know. شعيب لا ما زرته هيا بنا إليه. لا, no, ما زرته. Right? Ma is a negation of a past tense. You can use ma. زرته, I visited. ما زرته, I didn't visit it. Hayya bina, this expression come with us. Hayya means like hayya, let's go. Right? Bina, with us. Ilayhi, to it. Ilayhi, to it, to the ma'rid. هذا هو معرض الهوايات. This is the ma'rid of al-hiwayat, the expo of hobbies. هذا هو معرض الهوايات. So it's going to be a big place with different stalls or different booths, right? And everybody displaying various type of hobbies. هذا هو معرض. You can say هذا معرض الهوايات. This is the expo of hobbies. هذا هو معرض الهوايات. This is the expo of hobbies. Same translation for English. The huwa there, it does give it a little more emphasis, and like you saying this is the ma'rid of al-hiwayat. And we did this huwa in the summer. Later we're gonna go through it back, inshallah. هذه هوايات كثيرة جدا. هذه, these, هوايات, hobbies, كثيرة, plenty, جدا, very. So these are very plenty, hiwayat, hobbies. Translate that properly. These are a lot of hobbies, right? These are a lot of hobbies. هذه هوايات كثيرة. These are a lot of hobbies. Now we said هذه in English, we learned the default for هذه is this, but it's not always the case, right? هذه can use with singular and plural. If you use it with singular, you're going to translate it to mean this. If you use it plural, you're going to translate it to mean these. شهاب هذا جناح جمع الطوابع. هذا جناح. جناح means wing. Right? This is the wing of جمع الطوابع. جمع means gathering. طوابع means stamps. Jam, gathering or collecting, right? Gathering or collecting. So that's the hobby here is jam at-tawabi, collecting of stamps. People who collect stamps, you know, there's something used to be, I know it used to even be a school project. I don't know now what they have in, right? You go and you collect stamps, you gotta get different stamps. Stamps here referring to most likely is why no that used to be done was postal stamps. Yeah, you see they have it here, the picture, right? So the wing of postal stamps, meaning this is the stall or the booth that has the hobby of collecting stamps. So you go and you see all type of stamps from different places. Right? Some hobbies is just I don't know. هذه where are we? هذه طوابع جميلة. هذا طابع هندي وهذا طابع فرنسي. هذه طوابع جميلة. These are beautiful stamps. هذا طابع هندي. This is a Indian stamp. وهذا طابع فرنسي. And this is a French stamp. وهذا جناح الخط العربي. And this is the wing or the style or the boot of Arabic calligraphy or Arabic writing. Right? Al-Khatt al-Arabi is Arabic calligraphy or Arabic writing. هذه آيات بخط النسخ وتلك أحاديث بخط الرقعة. Right? These are verses with خط النسخ, with the writing or the style. What I meant by the khat and nask, the writing of nask or the calligraphy of nask, meaning the style of nask. Now nask is what you call it, is the name for of a specific type of writing in Arabic. You know, have different fonts. So nask is the regular font. The font that we use, like the font of this book is known as nask. Right? The font of this book is known as nask. And ruk'ah is like, what do you call it? Ruk'ah is a more shortened form of writing. Where they have a picture here of ruk'ah, right? Let me see if I can. I don't really know. See something wrong there, just correct it. Or just Google it. Easy thing now. Where are we? وهذا جناح الصحافة. هذا جناح الصحافة. This is the wing or the booth or the stall that they have the hobby of as-sahafa. Now, what is sahafa? It's what's sahafa? The people like who deal with who write newspaper articles and so. What you call it? Right? You can use that. What you call a sahafa?
Like a reporter?
Reporter is more specific. وهذه صحف بجميع اللغات. وهذه, these are صحف. صحف refer to newspapers, journalism. صحافة, journalism. وهذه الصحف, these are newspapers بجميع اللغات, in all the languages. Right? صحافة, journalism. Journalism. وهذا جناح التدبير المنزلي. This is the wing of التدبير المنزلي. Tadbir is what? When you do tadbir, right? Mudabbir, management. Manzili referring to the home management, right? Things to do with home economics, that's the word. Home economics. Tadbir al-manzili. وهذا طعام صيني وهذا طعام عربي. These are Chinese food, and this is Chinese food, and this is Arabic food. Now remember, the literal meaning of the word tadbir got to do with management, organizing. Now you understand in the Arabic, the word that they use for it, and then you understand the word that you use in English. In English we say home economics. Well, at least in Guyana that is what they say. Right? You have a subject name, home economics. What do you call it here? Where they allow you to cook and clean and prepare a dish and present food and all of those things. And here in Arabic you call it التدبير المنزلي. وهذا جناح الرياضة. This is the janah of riyada, the wing of sports. كرة القدم والسباحة. كرة القدم, right? The ball of foot. والسباحة, swimming. والفروسية. Now, football, سباحة is swimming, and al-furusiyya is archery, right? Or, sorry, horse riding, not archery. Horse riding. Archery is what's archery? They use the same word to mean the same word for archery, shooting, and وما رميت إذ رميت ولكن الله رمى, from the word الرماية. That's archery. Okay, so let me حوار الثالث, we pause there inshallah for these, and we're gonna leave this for Sunday inshallah. Al-Furusi, we said, is what? Horse riding, and archery is rimaya. But another thing to note also is a lot of these things you have to take into consideration, like the place that you are. So some of the words you might use, like in Saudi, what they might refer to horse ride, the word they might use for a horse riding Saudi might be different than the word they use like in Jordan or somewhere else, the local word.
When you say Junah, is that an actual wing, or you mean like a stall?
The word Jannah means wing.
Like
Yeah, just how we use wing in English, they technically use it in Arabic. So here, like the wing, here the wing gonna be a stall. Like the wing of a building. You said it in English too. You use the same thing in Arabic. The left wing, the right wing, the back wing, the center wing. Right? Lower your wings for somebody. Same, just وَخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ in Surah Al-Isra. So the word jana, there is a perfect translation for it, and the usage is generally the same. Okay. So we on the 21st chapter. Remember the homework was the 19th chapter. Right? The homework. Last class we did the 20th chapter. ودخل الإخوة من أبواب متفرقة. Right? We deal with this word متفرقة. عهد بنيامين يحبس. So this week here we're gonna do the 24th chapter passage of Yusuf. إلى يعقوب, to Yaqub. So just for context, brief recap, right? At this point, Benjamin was held back by Yusuf. Right, as the context of this chapter. Benjamin, the brothers, they went back to Egypt to get more grain. Yusuf placed the mug in Benjamin's bag, and Benjamin was held back. So now the brothers have to return to their father. وتحير الإخوة كيف يرجعون إلى أبيهم. وتحير الإخوة كيف يرجعون إلى أبيهم. واستحير. We did in story of Ibrahim. تحير means to be confused, right? تحير, to be confused. So تحير الإخوة, the brothers were confused. And this word is in the Quran. حيران له أصحاب, right? From the same word. Confusion. Confused. In Surah Al-An'am. Right? وتحير الإخوة, so the brothers were confused. كيف يرجعون إلى أبيهم. How is it يرجعون, they are going to return إلى أبيهم, to their father. كيف يرجعون إلى أبيهم. وتحير الإخوة كيف يرجعون إلى أبيهم. And the brothers were confused. How is it they're going to return to their father? Now, if we use this translation, the brothers were confused how they will return to their father. If you notice in English, we have a little more extra words. Now, how is it you get over that? Like if, let's say, you were to you want to say this sentence, so you form the sentence in English. My brother, let's say, my brother was confused how he is going to return to the masjid. Right? Let's say he did something in the masjid. Now you have all those words. How are you going to know how to give the Arabic form of that word, that sentence? If you think English, you're going to end up in a lot of trouble. Because you're going to be looking for words that is not necessary in Arabic. Like for example, you have the word how. He is not there. There's no separate word for he is or they are, not there. The yarji'un has they are returning, they will return, they will be returning. All of that can be yarji'un. So that's why these conversation, these passages, to get used to the Arabic expression. And you got to give it time, right? You mightn't get it in 1 month, you mightn't get it in 1 year, but you got to keep on it until it comes, inshallah. وتحير الإخوة كيف يرجعون إلى أبيهم. And the brothers were confused how they will return, how will they return to their father. وفكر الإخوة ماذا يقولون لأبيهم. وفكر, فكر means to think and ponder, right? تفكير. وفكر الإخوة, the brothers thought, meaning they were thinking, they were pondering, they thought, ماذا, what, يقولون, they will say, لأبيهم, to their father. يقولون by itself means they say or they are saying, right? Present tense. يقولون, they say, not they said. They say or they are saying. Now, present tense can be used for the future. Now we know that they are speaking about what they're going to say to their father, not what they are saying right now, right? What they will say. So that's where we get the will from. وَفَكَّرَ الْإِخْوَةُ مَاذَا يَقُولُونَ لِأَبِيهِمْ. The brothers, they pondered, they think, they thought, what is it they're going to say to their father? إِنَّهُمْ فَجَعُوهُ أَمْسِ فِي يُوسُفَ أَفَيَفْجَعُونَهُ الْيَوْمِ فِي بِنْيَامِينَ. إِنَّهُمْ فَجَعُوهُ أَمْسِ فِي يُوسُفَ. إنهم فجعوه أمس في يوسف. إنهم, verily they. أمس means yesterday, right? أمس means yesterday. Now what is meant by yesterday? Not the day before today. Meaning yesterday, the general past. في Yusuf means regarding Yusuf. Now what is meant? فجعوه means they distressed him regarding Yusuf yesterday, right? أفيفجعونه اليوم في بنيامين. أفيفجعونه اليوم في بنيامين. Just give me 1 second. Right? أفيفجعونه mean, are they going to distress him al-yawm, today, fi Binyamin, regarding Binyamin, right? Distress him, cause him pain, anger, is this word in the Quran? Amma kabiruhum, as for the big one, amma, right, as for kabiruhum, the big of them, meaning the elder among them, right? And know that expression, kabiruhum. If you are a group of brothers or a group of siblings or a group of sisters, you say hada kabiruna, this is the elder among us, right? Correct expression. Amma kabiruhum, as for the big of them, the big one among them. Fa'aba, he refused. How we translate that fa? Who can remember? Remember we said the fa is for what? To answer the amma. Amma means as for. No, the answer as for what gonna happen, the answer to it, you always put fa. So you understand the fa in Arabic, right? Amma ba'd fa inna asdaq al-hadith. Fa amma man utiya kitaba hu biyamini fa sawfa yuhasabu. Right? The fa always give the answer. So as for the big one among them, were the sisters hearing me properly? I just realized the mice were not. Okay. Yeah. As for the big one among them, meaning the elder among them, fa'aba, he refused. Aba, remember we said the fa is to answer the amma. He refused aba, an yarji'a, to return, ila Ya'qub, to Ya'qub. وَقَالَ لِإِخْوَتِهِ, وَقَالَ, and he said, li, to إخوته, his brothers. وقال لإخوته, he said to his brothers, ارجعوا إلى أبيكم. ارجعوا إلى أبيكم. So he said to his brothers, ارجعوا, return, right? Command form. ارجعوا إلى to أبيكم, your father. فقولوا, then say, right? Then say, meaning when after you return, say. What to say? Ya abana, O our father. Inna, verily. Ibnaka, your son. Inna banaka, verily your son. Saraqa, stole. Wama shahidana. Shahida means what? Witnessed or testified. Right? Shahida, he witnessed or he testified. So shahidna, we witnessed or testified. Here it means testified, right? Meaning the testimony that we are giving to you that your son stole, right? Wama shahidna, we are not we haven't testified. Negation, right? Wama shahidna, we haven't testified illa, except bima alimna, except with what we knew. Right? Meaning this testimony is only based on what we knew. We saw him stole and we testifying to that. Wama kunna, and we were not. Right? Kana, he was. Ma kana, he wasn't. Kunna, we were. Ma kunna, we weren't. We were not. Wama kunna, nor we were not. Now you have two negation here, right? Ma shahidna, we didn't testify, so here you can translate it as nor, right? When you have two, I didn't come, nor did I eat, right? You can use nor, so you can use it here too. Wama kunna, nor were we, lil ghaib, for the unseen, hafidhin, preservers. What is meant that we are not preservers of the unseen? Right? Meaning, now, like we said, the Arabic expression, Quranic expression, sorry, we're not going to go too detailed, but just ghaib is unseen, we know that. Hafiz is preserve, preserver, right? The hafiz of the Quran, preserver of the Quran, safeguarder. So, when you say someone is a when they say they are not preservers of the unseen, meaning they didn't know the unseen and had knowledge of the unseen and had it in their records, in their knowledge, that Yusuf is going to steal, and they knew that he was going to steal, right? They didn't have that in there. They're not preservers of the unseen. That is what is meant by they're not preservers of the unseen, meaning they didn't know that this is going to happen. Like if somebody blame you for something out of your control, right? You tell everybody to come somewhere, and then when you go, it's flooded and rain and so happen, right? I'm not a preserver of the unseen. I didn't know the unseen. Like in the Quran, Allah mentioned, وَمَا أَنْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ. Huh? No, with the same word. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَفِيظًا. That's the verse. We have not sent you over them as a preserver. Right? Meaning to overlook and safeguard everything that they're doing, see whether they're doing good or whether they're doing bad, and preserve that. وَلَمَّا سَمِعَ يَعْقُوب, and when Ya'qub heard, وَلَمَّا, when سَمِعَ heard, Ya'qub, when Ya'qub heard, al-qissata, the story, alima, he knew, anna, verily, lillah, belonging to Allah, yadan, a hand, fi, in, dhalik, that. وَلَمَّا سَمِعَ يَعْقُوبَ الْقِصَّةَ عَلِمَ أَنَّ لِلَّهِ يَدًا فِي ذَلِكَ. Now all of these words, we know the words. Now what is the meaning of the sentence? Right? This is an expression, maybe not a metaphoric expression. You know, like you have maybe an idiom. You know what's an idiom, right? So when he heard the story, up to here clear. Alima anna lillahi yadan. He knew that verily
belonging to Allah is a hand in that, meaning he knew that Allah has a hand in that. Now when you say this person has a hand in that, what do it mean? Right? He is responsible. He played a part of it. He is involved. Now, when it comes to Allah, when he said Allah has a hand in this, meaning Allah is the planner, right? Allah is the planner. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ مُمْتَحِنُهُ, and he knew verily Allah mumtahin. What's mumtahin? Literally mumtahin means tester, right? Literally mumtahin means tester. So mumtahinuhu means his tester. Well, remember we mentioned that the dual form of a word, run, runner, test, tester, the dual form of a word in Arabic, you use it as the verb. So you're not going to translate it, Allah is tester, is his tester. No, meaning verily Allah is testing him, right? Verily Allah is testing him. Mumtahinuhu. Anna Allaha mumtahinuhu. So you don't translate it period with the dual form, right? Wa inni mursilatun ilayhim bihadiyah. Mursilatun literally mean sender, but the verse, I'm sending to him a gift, right? Ams fuji'a fi Yusuf wal yawm yufja'u fi Binyamin. Ams, yesterday. Now remember we say ams means yesterday as in the past. Now if I want to say yesterday as in the day before, how am I going to say that? What's the difference between yesterday, the general past, and yesterday as in the day before today? If you want to mean the day before today, you say bil ams, right? Al ams. You use the alif and lam. But ams in general, the general yesterday. So ams, yesterday, the past, fuji'a fi Yusuf. He was distressed concerning Yusuf, right? He was, distress was caused to him concerning Yusuf. Fuji'a, right? Faja'a means he distressed or caused distress upon somebody else. So here, like in the verb here, where is it? Faja'uhu, right? Faja'al ikhwatu Ya'qub, meaning, or faja'al abna abahum, meaning the brothers caused distress upon their father. When you say faja'a, when you say fuji'a, distress was caused upon him, right? Like kataba, he wrote, kutiba, it was written. Wal yawm yufja'u, and today distress is being caused upon him, fi Binyamin, regarding Binyamin. Inna Allah la yajma'u alayhi musibatain. Indeed, Allah la yajma'u, does not gather, right? Jama'a yajma', gather, alayhi, upon him, right? Allah is not going to gather upon him musibatain, two calamities, right? Musibatain, two calamities. Inna Allah la yafja'uhu fi ibnain. Allah is not going to cause him distress regarding two sons. Inna Allah la yafja'uhu fi ibnain ka Yusuf wa Binyamin. Verily Allah will not cause him distress in two sons, meaning regarding two sons, ka Yusuf wa Binyamin, like Yusuf and Binyamin, right? Two righteous sons. Now these are just the expression of the author. Inna lillahi fi dhalika yadan khafiyatan. Same expression, right? Verily belong to Allah, meaning verily Allah has, fi dhalik, in that, yadan, a hand, khafiyya, a hidden hand. Khafiyya means hidden. Why the ta marbuta? Because hand is feminine. Khafiyun means secret, hidden. Right? In the Quran, إِنَّكَ تَعْلَمُ مَا نُخْفِي وَمَا نُعْلِنُ. You know what we nukhfi, right? What we hide. Khafi, nukhfi. So verily belonging to Allah, verily Allah has in that verily Allah has in that a hidden hand, meaning hidden wisdom. Allah, He is the one who is testing him. He is the one who is decreeing it and causing this to happen. Why you describe it as a hidden hand? Because it's not apparent, right? It's not apparent. It may seem as if the brothers are the plotters, but they are not the ones who are the plotters. Inna lillahi fi dhalika hikmatun makhfiyya. Verily, belonging to Allah, meaning Allah has in that a hidden wisdom. Now, what's the difference between khafiyya and makhfiyya? Both is hidden. Khafiyya, hidden. Makhfiyya, hidden. Right? And both is adjective. So you can say if the thing that you're describing is feminine, so let's say we say qawlun is qawlun qafiyun, qawlun makhfiyun. Hidden word, a hidden word. We're gonna come back to that to the end. Let me go finish off. So 9:26. Okay. إن الله لم يزل يمتحن عباده ثم يسرهم وينعم عليهم. لم يزل. This statement means together means continuation, right? The statement lam yazal or ma zala means it shows is a group of verb that shows continuation. Lam yazal. So you're not going to translate the negation there. So for example, if I say ma zala al-mataru yanzil. Al-mataru yanzil, the rain is coming down, right? The rain is falling, descending, whatever. Ma zal al-mataru yanzil, the rain is still falling. Show continuation, right? The entire verb. Right? Ma zala. Now the same thing, now zala, there is a past tense, ma zala. Present tense is nahi, zala yazalu. So if you put lam to yazalu, what are you going to end up with? Yazal. Right? Lam, yazal. Remember lam, we said make the last word sukun. Let me erase that. So if I say lam yazal yanzil also means the rain is still falling, right? Currently. Huh? With the usage, both of them shows continuation, so it's ongoing. So, for example, but one of them, the present tense, let's give an example. If you say ما زال المطر ينزل, the rain is still falling at this moment. The rain is still falling at this moment. But it's going to stop fall. It's not going to fall forever.
It still didn't stop. That's what
At the moment, no, it's still falling. It didn't stop. It didn't stop.
the second one, lam yazal, is like it still didn't stop.
No. لم يزل ينزل المطر. لم يزل ينزل. What's it? The different there is mainly with the what do you call it? The type of negation. You're using the present tense with the negation of the past. Remember lam, like if I, okay, let me take out lam yazal and ma zala. If I say ana ashrabu, I'm drinking. Present. Sharibtu, I drank. Ma sharibtu, I didn't drink. Lam ashrab, what it mean? I didn't drink also. So when it comes, the general meaning is the same. It's just the usage with the present tense and the past tense, but there is a with the mazala lam yazal, there is a slight variation with regards to where it can indicate something. But let's leave that. Certain things you don't want. It's not. You're gonna only study it with classical texts when it comes to the usages of the people. Like when we difference between qala rajul and a rajul qala. The man said, right? Same translation, but there is a difference between the usage in the classical text when you're going to use it. So inna Allah lam yazal yamtahin. So yamtahin means to test. Inna Allah lam yazal. Remember, lam yazal show continuous. You're not translating any negation here. So you're going to say Allah continues to test. Right? Ibadahu, his servants. Thumma, then. Yasurruhum, he makes them happy. Yasurru, yasurru someone means they make them masroor. That's why the word masroor is maf'ul, right? Object, because they are being made happy. So, thumma yasurruhum, then he makes them happy. Wa yun'imu alayhim, and he bless them or grants them favor. He favor upon them. This word an'ama is used with ala. You know it like that, right? An'ama, it's used with ala. Now how you translate it? An'ama refers to blessing more, not blessing is differently. More referred to like being given a favor, a bounty. That's an'ama, a joy, right? So Allah continues to test his servants. Thumma yasurruhum, then he makes them happy. Wa yun'im alayhim, and he gives them ni'mah. He gives them ni'mah or na'im. Give them favor. He gives them joy. He gives them goodly life. ثم إن الابن الأكبر بقي في مصر أيضا. Then, meaning on, then here means, this here meaning on the top of Yusuf being missing, Binyamin now is missing. ثم إن الابن الأكبر, then the big son, right? Al-Ibn al-Akbar, بقي, remained, في مصر, in Egypt. أيضا, also. وَأَبَى أَنْ يَرْجِعَ, and he refused. Aba, he refused, أَنْ يَرْجِعَ, to return. إِلَى كَنْعَانَ, to Canaan. أَفَيُفْجَعُ فِي الثَّالِثِ أَيْضًا, is he going to be distressed في الثالث, regarding the third also, meaning is he going to be caused is caused to be distressed regarding a third son, right? وَقَدْ فُجِعَ مِنْ قَبْلِ فِثْنَيْن, and وَقَدْ فُجِعَ, and he was caused distress, he was caused pain, he was caused harm, min qabl, before, fithnain, regarding two, meaning regarding two sons, right? Qabl and min qabl both mean before. But what's the difference? Min qabl indicates a closer before than qabl. Inna hadha la yakun, indeed this la yakun would not be. La yakun would not be, or would not happen. وَهُنَا إِطْمَأَنَّ يَعْقُوبَ, and here إِطْمَأَنَّ يَعْقُوبَ, Ya'qub feel tranquil. وَقَالَ, and he said. Now why did he feel tranquil? And then this statement is correct, right? Meaning when he realized that all of these, that the calamity increased to a high level. I mean, he lost Yusuf, he was sad. Then he lost Benjamin. Then his older son. It's calamity over calamity. And why did he become tranquil? Because it's one of the signs of refuge. One of the signs of refuge is the refuge, the help is going to come when the calamity increase. عَسَى اللَّهُ أَن يَأْتِيَنِي بِهِمْ جَمِيعًا. عَسَى اللَّهُ means, asa means perhaps, Allah, أَيَّأْتِيَنِي بِهِمْ. Asa is used with an. Just know that also. Asa is used with an. So you don't, with the word perhaps, you, like for example, you say, perhaps I'm going to the market, right? Asa an adhabu ila souk. But in English, you just say, perhaps I'm going. You don't put anything between the perhaps and the I'm going. Asa Allahu an ya'tiyani. And ya'tiya means come, be, but when it's used with be means come with, to bring. So ya'tiyani gonna mean bring me, him, them, right? Bring me them. Ya'tiyani bihim, come to me with them. Meaning Allah is going to bring them to me, all of them. Meaning Jami'a, meaning Yusuf and Binyamin and the big brother. Innahu huwa al-alim al-hakim. Indeed, he is al-alim, the knowledgeable, al-hakim.
Is it accurate that the brother stayed back?
Yeah. The big one.
Yeah, I did.
قال كبيرهم ألم أقل قال كبيركم what is it أن الله قد أخذ عليكم موثقا من الله ومن قبل ما فرطتم في يوسف فلن أبرح الأرض. I will not leave the land حتى يأذن لي أبي, until my father give me permission. So that's, we're gonna pause. If there is any question, with regards to the structure, anything that is not clear, the sentence, feel free to ask, inshallah. The class is finished. Those who want to leave, inshallah, and just remember the regular homework and assignments and the regular requirements for each lesson. And so on, all of those are still due, inshallah.